Welcome to Threads of Hope. Today we are holding a special space for a young woman whose voice has gone silent, whose name deserves to be spoken loudly and repeatedly. Her name is Emma Baum. Emma, 25 years old. She's a mother. She was 9 months pregnant, and on October 10th, 2024, Emma disappeared from Gary, Indiana. Emma was last seen on October 10th, 2024, near the area of 25th Avenue and Connecticut Street in Gary, Indiana. According to her family, she had gone to visit the father of her unborn child. She never came home. Days passed, then weeks, and as her family searched, pleaded, and asked questions, one thing became painfully clear. The silence surrounding Emma's disappearance was almost as loud as her absence. By the time a missing person report was officially filed on October 28th, 2024, 18 days had already passed. 18 days where a pregnant woman and her unborn baby were both missing. In time, the most critical factor in any missing person case had already slipped away. Emma's family has spoken publicly about their fear that she may have already given birth while she's missing. They have shared their heartbreak, their confusion, their growing frustrations. They have also raised concerns about the lack of visible updates from authorities, the limited media coverage surrounding her case, no Amber Alert, no Silver Alert, no urgent statewide notification for a woman who was at full-term pregnancy. Law enforcement has stated that the investigation is active. They have confirmed searches, reviews of footage, and continued efforts. But to Emma's family and many in the community, the quiet feels overwhelming. There are no frequent public updates, no sustained media attention, no sense of urgency that reflects the gravity of a missing pregnant woman vanishing without a trace in 2024. Emma was last seen at her boyfriend's residence. Her family has openly expressed concern and unanswered questions surrounding that timeline, not as accusations, but as a plea for transparency. Public reporting confirms that the boyfriend was briefly detained on unrelated matter and later released. As of today, no charges have been announced in connection to Emma's disappearance, and authorities have not publicly named any suspects. And this is why Threads of Hope exists. Not to speculate, not to accuse, but to refuse silence. Emma is not a statistic. She is not a headline that faded too quickly. She is a daughter, a sister, a mother, and a woman who was preparing to bring new life into this world. Her family continues to search. They continue to share her face. They continue to beg anyone who may have seen something, anything, to come forward. Their message has been consistent and unwavering. We are not giving up. If you were in Gary, Indiana on or around October 10th, 2024, near 25th Avenue and Connecticut Street, if you saw Emma, if you heard something, if you noticed something that didn't feel right, please, we urge you, come forward and contact the Gary Police Department Investigation Bureau at 219-881-1209. Even the smallest detail can matter. Threads of Hope exists to keep faces and cases in the spotlight when the world grows quiet, to remind families you are not alone, and to say clearly and unapologetically, Emma Baum matters, her baby matters, and justice matters. Until Emma is found, until answers are given, we will keep saying her name. This is Threads of Hope, and this is justice for Emma.
According to a report given to me, one of the Gary, Indiana police said to you when Emma went missing, well, if she's dead in a dumpster, you'll never find her. Did that
Yes.
happen? I'm going to confirm that with you.
Yes, ma'am, it did. He had told my daughter that if she was gone, she would not be found. And that hurt my family greatly.
I understand that after that, you feel renewed hope because Lake County Homicide, specifically Detective Gordon, is now on the case. May I ask you, what led the Gary, Indiana police officer to tell you in the midst of the search of Emma, 9 months pregnant, yeah, she's dead in a dumpster, you'll never find her? What brought that on?
Somebody had give us some information, and I had called and asked to pass it on to him. I asked him if he wanted it. I had it all nicely where he could read it with the times and no questions asked, no cutting it off. Perfectly, here you go. He told me no, not only did he not need it, that if that was accurate, we would never be able to find her if she was thrown into the garbage dump.
To Brian Fitzgibbons, Director Operations, USP, a nationwide security specialty finding missing people. You know, in the midst of an investigation, I've had victims' families give me a lot of information, and sometimes I knew immediately it was not going to be pertinent to the investigation, like Curious Abby. This BF boyfriend, Antoine Butler, was he supportive of the pregnancy? Was he helping her?
No, there had been multiple times that he had asked her to get an abortion, and that is a fact. He didn't want it. When Emma found out she was going into labor, she just wanted to go more or less make sure and confirm and decide. She decided that no matter what, she was going to keep the baby, and it was going to make her a better person. And that if he didn't want to be a part of it, that she needed to figure it out prior to fully going into labor.
So, no money. He's not supporting her. He's not excited about the baby. He wants her to have an abortion. You know what? All of that, moral flaws, that does not make him a kidnapper or a murderer. However, I'm very concerned about the fact, Brian Fitzgibbons, USPA, that that's where she's last seen. That doesn't bother you?
She was dropped off at her boyfriend's house, her boyfriend Antoine, and her sister Jewel and Jaden had dropped her off on Thursday night, and she had promised she'd be back Friday to do something with Camden Friday, and she didn't show up home after that, so we called, and we didn't get any answer Friday, and then we waited Saturday, called her boyfriend Sunday, and he had told us and told me that he seen her leave with some girl in a car, which we found out that is not true. So, and then he also told my other daughters that other stories. Yeah, we don't know, how she got disappeared from this address right here at the moment. At the house behind us. That one there or this one here? The brown house behind us. And is this where this Antoine? He lived in the back, yes. Okay, he doesn't live there anymore? He's in jail right now. Oh, okay, all right. Now, and no disrespect, man, he's obviously the child's father. Baby's father. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Can you give us some information about how long they've been together? They've been over a year. They've been together over a year. Did she give any indication? Was she concerned about him? Was he nothing? No, I mean, no, not that. I mean, let's say, not that we're aware of. What told you so far about? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Only once, and then it wasn't very good. and the detective doesn't return my phone calls. Yes. It is now. It is now. At first, he got picked up in Hammond on a warrant. They picked him up, and then he's in there, so now he's being held for this case. As a person of interest? Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Do you believe he has something to do with the disappearance? Yes, I do. I think he hurt my baby. And we need to find where she's at. Oh. Anybody else want to say anything? Oh, I think he hurt my baby. Emma is watching this or hearing this. I wish she was. I love you.
If Emma is watching this, Emma, the baby wants you. He wants to know why you weren't there for Halloween. He wants to know when he's gonna meet his brother or his sister. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Right, we are waiting. And no matter what, we will not stop until we know where she is.
Absolutely.
It does not matter what we think. What matters is what's getting done. We need help. We need help. All of these families need help. Our family needs help.
I was in a relationship with Antoine Butler, and he was extremely abusive towards me. He choked me, slapped me, punched me, kicked me, basically beat me up any kind of way that he could. He beat me in front of people. He beat me outside on 5th Avenue up and down the street. It was very, very public. Everybody knew that this was happening to me. It was the darkest time of my life. I ended up becoming pregnant by him with a girl. And when I was 6 months pregnant with her, he suspected that I was trying to move away to Lafayette and decided that he was going to torture me for 4 to 6 hours straight. It started approximately around, I want to say like midnight, and then it ended at around 8 a.m., 9 a.m. He was hitting me, punching me, kicking me, dragging me all around when we lived on Rhode Island. We used to live on, I think, 8th and Rhode Island, over by the Sharks in Gary. Anyway, he was beating me up so bad that I got really dirty on the floor, and he ended up throwing me into a tub and turning on the cold water, and when I screamed from it being freezing cold, he flipped it to burning hot and kept throwing me back into the tub every time I would try to get out. Every time I would try to reach for the door, like once I could crawl to the door and try to escape, he would punch me in my head. I started screaming for God to save my baby and to help me. And that would trigger him every time, and he would end up beating me worse. Finally, he got tired, and he ended up going to the room to do something, and I was able to get away. When I got away, I was barefoot. I didn't have on a shirt. I ran to the PLS that was on Broadway, and called my grandfather from there, and he could barely understand me on the phone. When my grandfather picked me up, he was in tears because of the way that I looked. I was black and blue from head to toe. So that is just briefly some of the things that I endured. Other times, there was times where he held a knife to my throat, where he choked me out to where I passed out. There was a lot of instances of abuse. This person is extremely violent. My heart goes out to Emma and her family, and I pray to God that they find her. I just needed to get my story out so that everyone would know publicly that this person is extremely violent. And I know all of his family. I know all of his friends. They all know me. I moved away, and I cut ties with everybody and everything from there because I was so afraid of this person. God help Emma, and God help her and her baby come home.